Hello again from my front porch. I'm here with my good friend Steve Roberts
How you guys doing?
and Wiggles.
Hi, Wiggles.
Hi. So Steve actually, the wonderful friend that he is, I had bought something at Hobby Lobby that was too big to fit in my car. So I asked Steve, "Hey, Steve, you've got a big vehicle. Could you come and you let me use your vehicle in some way, this kind of thing?" And he says, "Well, I'm already on the road. How about I just stop by and pick it up and bring it over to you?" And I'm like, "Okay, if that's it." But that's the kind of guy Steve is. He's
right.
just that kind of guy.
That's right.
And so thank you. I
You're
appreciate that
welcome.
very
You're
much.
welcome.
But speaking of the kind of guy Steve is, Steve is now. I've not actually worked for you in the. What is that? Wow, that's a loud noise from somewhere.
Somebody's hammering.
Somebody's jackhammering something somewhere. This is the downside of it being a nice day and having the windows open.
It is beautiful.
But Steve, he I've not worked for you directly.
Right.
However, I have observed you leading your folks there, and I have worked for enough bosses in my time to be able to identify when someone is a good leader versus when they are a not so good leader. And so, Steve, I'm gonna guess. Steve can be firm.
Oh, for
However, he seems to be a bit of a pushover too. He's kind of that mix of a hard crusted marshmallow, kind of.
That's a very good point. Yes. Yes.
But that being the case, we were actually just having a little conversation. I said, you know what, we should just do this as a front porch conversation. We were just talking about, he runs Pi 5.
Correct.
In Ankeny, my favorite place to go eat. It is. If you haven't been there,
it's
why not?
amazing.
You should be there. But in fact, I had Subway for lunch today. Subway salad.
Okay.
And that's the way I explain Pi 5 to people. I say it's like pizza Subway. You go into Subway to order a sandwich, and there's all the ingredients. They make it, to pull the stuff out. That's the exact same thing they do at Pi 5. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Pi 5, though it is a good topic. Well, not directly. We're going to talk about your store, though.
About the store.
Yeah, because there continue to be all of these. Not just your place, but everywhere. There continue to be all these concerns about not having enough staffing to do things. We on my birthday, we went to Red Robin for lunch.
Okay.
Because Lisa doesn't like Red Robin, but Sophie and I do, and so for my birthday I picked Red Robin.
You can't argue that, right?
Yeah, she had to go because it's my birthday. But the place is only half full, and when we asked about why they only had, and people are waiting, 20, 25 minutes to get in.
Wow.
And but inside the tables are only half full, and we asked about it, and they said it's because of staffing. They didn't have enough staff to cover if they filled up all the tables, and so this is everywhere.
Yeah.
The airlines. I've been traveling more lately, and I'm hearing the same thing at the airports and the airlines.
I was just over in West Des Moines, matter of fact, for a doctor's appointment for Judd, and we stopped at Wendy's, and their drive-through closes at 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? 3?
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, I'm complaining about 8.
There are places like Long John Silver's, as far as I know, their dining area isn't even open yet.
Man, it's crazy.
It's all just still drive up because they don't have staff to support if they open the seating area.
That's crazy.
But so you're dealing with this yourself.
Yes, it's very frustrating. We had such a good, and we still do. We still got good employees. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just we lost a good crew to the went off to college, and now we're trying to regroup and get a new team in there, and it just seems that every time you do something, you just get slapped in the face. We've given many of them like raises, like, hey, they've asked for a raise. They're like, yeah, you're doing a great job. We're going to give you a raise. And then like 2 days later, they quit. It's like, or a week later, it's like, whoa, what? We just told you you're doing good. We just gave you a raise and you quit. So, like this weekend, we got a big event and we needed scheduling and some kids aren't getting the time off. So now they're called today and said, I guess today's my last day at Pi 5. I'm quitting.
It's not even the 2 week
not
notice.
even a 2 week notice.
Ah.
Just
But now is this?
Of course, it's our fault.
I mean, in this particular scenario, do you think is it the kid's first job?
Yes, it is a kid's first job.
Yeah,
It is a kid's first job.
that's one thing that I do find is interesting because I observed this when I was in my previous company, Waldinger, and we would have even summer interns. Now these are kids in college,
Right.
that are coming to do internships, but they had never had a full-time professional job, and it was interesting that they would do things or expect things to be a certain way that I'm like, why would you even think that? Where does that even come from? Do you not understand how this work world works? And then it dawned on me, no, apparently they did not.
That's what I said. First thing when I got that message, I'm like, oh, you're not going to give me your 2 weeks? And I mean, and we do. We really go above and beyond to give them time off, to do their sports stuff, to do practices, to do whatever, we really do a lot to help them out. And then it just seems like when you want the help and you need the help, it's, well, I quit. It's like, wait a minute, well, it is.
So now, again, I want to be very clear about this. I'm not trying to, we're not trying to throw his employees under the bus.
Oh, heck no.
Or talk bad about anybody.
Heck no. I love them kids.
But do you notice that occasionally, at least you have some that, and I know this is a loaded word, and so I use it hesitantly, but that entitled mentality. And what I mean by that, by using that, is so you really like. I think she can smell the pie five.
Not a problem. or the chicken I got.
Yeah, it could be. She had the treats that I give her are these chicken and sweet potatoes.
That's probably what it is.
It's probably the chicken. Yeah. But what I was saying was this mindset of I'm coming to work. But I'm not here to work for you. I'm working for me, and you, as employer, should be grateful that I'm here, and you should be treating me wonderfully because I'm here. Rather, and I'm going to sound old, but I am. I just had a birthday. But there used to be the mindset of at least there was a common accepted mindset that you get hired to a job and then you work really hard to prove yourself. Yeah. So then you get reward, you get benefit from that. But it almost feels like maybe now we're seeing more of a because you hired me, I expect to be rewarded.
Right, and it's frustrating, and it just sometimes makes you just want to give up. It's like, gosh, man, we got a little incentive program that we just put out that we're like, listen, if you get $8.50 an hour, you get $9 an hour. If you come and work your scheduled shift for that pay period, you come in, you do your job, you do it right, clock in and out when you're supposed to, we'll give you an extra $1 an hour.
Now, see, that sounds like a great incentive program, but there again, this is the old fogey in me. I hear this and I'm like, wait a minute, so you're rewarding them for doing what they should just be doing. but you got to.
You got to. I mean, you if you want help, you gotta, and that's where I'm kind of frustrated and kind of spent, I guess is the way to put it. That I go so far above and beyond and helping these people out, and it's just like.
You mean like going over to Hobby Lobby to pick up a shelf and deliver it without me even having to be... See, that again, that's why I started off with that. That's just one example of the... and he doesn't even bat an eye. It's not, and he doesn't keep score, and he doesn't keep it... It's like, hey, I'm available, I can help, I'm going to help. That's who you are.
Yeah. Uh-oh, here comes the popo.
No, that's a neighbor across the street. he's got military-like vehicles, this old police SUV thing and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's a different world. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's just and you hear that a lot. Well, yeah, we understand this happened back then, but this is not how it is now. You can't do this now. You can't say this now. It's just it's not right.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, and we deal with that in my company now.
Yeah.
It's a construction company, and we're trying to train our frontline leaders that they cannot treat their crews today the way they were treated as they were coming up. Some of these guys who've been there for 15, 20 years, they will tell you stories about how their leaders, they would yell at them, they would swear at them, they'd name call them, they'd berate them, they'd fire you and then say, expect you here in the morning, all this kind of stuff. And that was accepted as the common environment. But now if those leaders now who grew up under that and learned that as their style, if they try to do that now, they get in all kinds of trouble. Yeah. Not only do the workers quit and walk away, but now there's all kinds of HR complications and lawsuit impacts.
Sue.
And I'm not saying that the treatment should have stayed.
No, for sure.
But to your point, the world has changed, and sometimes some of those who are in those leader roles aren't as willing to adapt.
Right.
They just criticize the changes and they don't try to adapt.
Well, I agree with you.
But you're trying to actually adapt.
Correct.
By with things like this incentive program and stuff.
Yep, I'm trying. We're trying, man. We're trying, and we'll keep trying. And it's brought back a memory from when I was on the railroad. I got hired in 97. Actually, I hired 96, but then 97 is when I actually worked. But I remember catching the tail end of the old C&W. Man,
Mm-hmm.
you caused a problem or you had issues with anybody, you guys went in the ditch and took care of it, and then you went back to work. But you can't do that anymore. That's a big
That reminds
no-no.
me of that cartoon of the sheepdog and the coyote. And they're out and they're trying to take each other out. With all these these devices and plans and strategies, and none of them ever work out. And then at the end of the day, there's the whistle, the time clock blows, and they both go over and punch out. See you tomorrow, Ralph.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
That's the way. I mean, you used to be able to literally joke, but you can't even do, I'm getting phone calls from my buddies from work. I'm like, we can't even joke around anymore, But that's just that's the way it is.
And I know, and there's another topic that we won't unhash in this one because it would take it's a whole other episode.
Yes.
And who knows, we still may talk it depending on how it all goes.
Right.
But there's a thing going on in the school district here. See, he's got this shirt here representing well. That Steve has some firsthand knowledge of and feels very strong and passionate about. And so one of the other liabilities you frequently feel, not just in this topic, but it's come up other times, is that as a restaurant owner, how vocal can you be about your opinions of things?
You can't be. I mean, it's sad. I mean, I'm getting people on my side, right? Even saying, "Oh, be careful. You might want to take that down. You got a restaurant. You got, you're in the spotlight too." And I'm like, but this has nothing to do with my restaurant. This is about kids. This is about my kid, other kids that and me. I love the community. I love helping out, and it's not just about my kid, and I can't even,
Well, the sad thing is too many people just look for a target. They just look for someone to blame, someone to attack. And that
I'm ready for it though. Bring it.
So you said you had something big going on the weekend. What's going on this weekend?
This weekend, we have a friend of ours, Shane Workman, who was hit from behind on his motorcycle late at night. So this Saturday they're doing a cruise by. So they'll be coming to Pi 5. I am not putting it on. They're putting this on, and they're going to stop at Pi 5 and do a little fundraiser for him. Percentage of our sales will go back to him, and then they're going to pass the hat. And
is there a time for that?
6 to 9.
6 to 9 p.m.
6 to 9 on Saturday.
I assume p.m.
PM, correct. Yep.
Well, motorcycle riders, they could be out in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, they're out all the time, and it's the wife and I actually went out on a ride the other day. And
are you a motorcycle rider too?
yes.
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, of course, I ride my dad's bike. I don't have my own. But
it's a legacy bike.
I mean, he lets me ride it whenever. So it's a dangerous world out there, and we're gonna try to help them out and try to raise some money for them.
That's good of you. See, again, look at now there. And I say this about Steve, but honestly, I've met a number of business owners who are the same way.
There's a lot of them out there.
And I know a lot of employers, not just in the food industry, although it does seem to be where we see the most obvious shortage of personnel, but it's in other industries too. But a lot of employers who take really good care of their people too. And there's this myth out there that the reason people don't want to work for you is because you're a bad employer and you pay poorly and blah blah blah. No, actually that's sometimes it probably is the case, but in most cases that's not a fair description of the employers. Case in point. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everything you do for us, Paul, and we'll just keep going forward.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have to let him go because the chicken that is in his car is for his wife.
That's right.
And so it is progressively getting colder, and she's getting hangrier. Right. And so I better let him go so he doesn't get chewed out when he gets home.
Yeah, you betcha. Well, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Always a pleasure chatting with you. And Wiggles says hi as well.
Hi, Wiggles.
And with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.